Welcome back, everyone. We're going to get down with another class. We're going to be doing a lot of groundwork in this one, so hopefully you guys have a little bit of room because we're going to be moving and shifting and doing a lot of fun stuff. We're going to get started with a compass drill with ground and pound. How this is going to work is you guys are going to start and mount. All right, so you're just going to be throwing combatives. Anytime I say a different position, you're going to try to get to that position as fast as you can. So you want to try to always keep pressure on your pad. If I say knee on belly, I'm going to pop up, knee on belly, continue striking from there. If I say side control, I'm going to drop down, and I'm going to be striking from side control. I say mount, go back to mount. All right, so we're going to be sticking with those positions right now, side control, knee on belly. Actually, I changed my mind. We're going to add one more. And if I say roll, okay, we'll roll over. We'll be fighting from guard. Okay, striking from here, roll, go back, and striking. So different positions. All right, here we go. We're going to go 2 minutes. Ready? And begin. So you guys at home, just listen for those commands. Throw any combatives that you feel are necessary as we do this. Knee on belly. Try to have that leg posted out. Mount. Side control. So both of them actually went to a judo side control, which is okay too. You guys will be learning that today and learn how to defend that. Mount. And roll. Roll back. Knee on belly. Mount. Roll. Roll back. Side control. Mount. Roll. Roll back. Side control. Pick up the intensity a little bit. We're almost done. Mount. Side control. Knee on belly. Mount. Roll. And time. All right. So we're going to use our pad as a gauge. You guys are going to be doing 30 seconds of push-ups, having your chest drop down, hit the pad. All right, 30 seconds. Ready? And 3, 2, 1, and begin. So do as many as you can on your feet. If you get tired, drop into your knees. Nothing wrong with that. Just get that full range of motion. All right, next thing we're going to do is push-outs. You're going to pinch the pad with your feet. I'm going to have it off the ground, knees up and towards my chest. Push out, right back. Push out, right back. If you want to challenge yourself, do it without having your hands on the floor. Okay, here we go. Ready? 30 seconds of push-outs. Sitting up for me, Jeff. And begin. So if the pad is too much and you can't do it, you can always have it just use or do it without the pad. Excuse me. All right, just be right here doing the push-outs. Couple more. All right, so last thing we're gonna do are hop overs I'm gonna take the pad and I'm gonna move it up just a little bit for right now. All right, my objective is to go from one side here, hop over the pad. Okay, if that is too difficult for you, okay, I can come right here, one hand and then the other. All right, but we're exploding off the ground, coming up, hopping over. Last thing we're gonna do, hop overs. Ready? And go. Now, if you want to land in a push-up position, that's fine too, to explode a little bit more. Five seconds left. Come on, keep it up. We're almost there. And time. All right. Go ahead and set these pads off to the side. Go ahead and have a seat for me. What I want you guys to do, have your legs out, reaching for your toes. So on this one, we're gonna be kind of doing a pulsing motion. So I'm just gonna be pulsing every time, just trying to reach a little bit further. And try to hold 5 seconds. 4, 3, 2, and good. Go butterfly stretch. From here, just kind of pulsing. Okay, if you want to rock a little bit to the left, to the right. Use your elbows to push that knee down. All right, and from here, just leaning forward, pulse a little bit. And good. Last one we're gonna do, we're gonna have this leg back. We're gonna fold our leg in. We're gonna lean forward, just kind of pulse. So we're going towards our knees. Now we can walk over towards our toes, doing the same thing, just alternating. Getting our chest as low as we can. Loosen up that spine. Go ahead and switch legs. Going towards the feet, pulse a couple times and go towards that knee. You'll notice, of course, going towards the knee can go a lot lower. One more each side. And time. All right, so as always, if you guys have any injuries or anything you need to stretch out a little bit more, feel free to do so now. All right, so now we're going to be going over a scarf hold technique, whether the weight forward or weight back. Now, this technique, it has a few different names. It can be called a side headlock from the ground. It can be called scarf hold, judo side control. So, however you heard it, that's what we're doing right now. So, in this positioning of the attack, if you guys saw during the warm-up, they actually went here while they were striking. This is a great position. So from here, okay, I'm getting this grip around his head and I'm having my legs based out. I don't want to have my feet together because then I'm going to be off balance. He could reverse me really easy. So I want to make sure I'm on my hip, my belly button is facing him, and one foot's in front, one foot's in the other. And I can squeeze really tight and that pressure with my knee and control this head. Or I could come underneath and kind of control underneath this shoulder. I'm not a big fan of this one right here. I like to control the head. That way I can strike a lot more. Plus, if you guys know any types of submissions, you can really start to add in different arm locks here and different things and set up different chokes. A lot of fun stuff from this if we start breaking into jiu-jitsu. But I want to make sure that my hip is really close to him. I'm making it very uncomfortable, adding a lot of weight. Squeeze really tight. Then I have a great shot for strikes if need be. But let's flip the roles. What if I am in this position? So, come here, Jeff. Two different attacks are taught in Krav with this. Weight forward and weight back is what we like to call it. So the first one we're going to talk about is his weight being back. In my opinion, this is one of the easier of the two and the more common of the two. because if he wants to strike and punch me in the face, he's going to have his weight back to open up so he can have huge shot right there. Now when I say weight forward, this is weight forward. This is more controlling and smashing. It would be really hard for him to punch from here and get a lot of power. So when his weight's back and he's opening up and he's striking, okay, I'm reversing him because his weight's going back. So Jesse, I'll borrow you on this one. So what's happening is I'm taking my hands, obviously, and bringing them up to my face to protect. I like to cup this bicep and feel the pressure of those punches coming, because I could have been hit once or twice and covered, but then I'm going to catch it. Now when he goes to strike, I can kind of jam him up a little bit. It also helps for when I'm pushing him away. Now for safety and training, a lot of times you may be pushing on the chin, but ideally I would be raking those eyes and eye gouging. If they have hair, I can rip the hair back. If I need to, grab in the ears, anything that's going to get a reaction out of him. So safety and training, majority of the time with your partner, you're going to push. I'm not a big fan of getting my fingers close to the mouth just in case they try to bite, but you may go underneath the chin and push. I'm not trying to hurt your partner. A lot of times what I do is I'll find myself cupping right here near the eyes and still pushing back, because then I go from here to there to really just dig into the eyes. And whenever you push into the eyes, you get a great reaction of them trying to get their head away from the pain. So the weight's already back. I'm going to be pushing him towards my feet, and I have to move my feet out of the way. Now, if I move him this direction towards him, it's not going to work. He's just going to end up on top of me still. So I'm going to walk my feet away from him as I push and I sit up. And I keep that pressure on his head the whole time as I come up, strike, strike, until I feel like maybe he's no longer a threat, or maybe I hit a vulnerable area. Then I keep pressure on him as I get up and I'm getting away. Okay, so we'll go ahead and practice this movement without anyone on top of us, so we'll lay on our backs. What we're gonna do, have our hands up. So we're just gonna imagine that they're on our right side for now, so our hands will be over towards our right side. We're gonna be walking our feet towards the left as we're pushing, 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 coming up to our knees. From there, throwing a couple strikes, elbows, hammer fists, that ground and pound that we did. And then we keep pushing on them. I like to push that arm sometimes as we get up and we get away. All right, so we'll go ahead and go back and forth. You guys can watch this a little bit or practice at home. Here we go. So they'll now be attacking one another, getting to that position. Good. Striking, striking, getting up to their feet. Very nice. So weight's back, you can throw those punches if you want. Very nice. Good, we'll go one more each. Good, moving the feet, basing out, striking, getting up. And last one. All right, and time. So I will borrow you, Jeff, really quick. So another option that we do have is if I'm here and I'm pushing, okay, and I'm pushing with the hand on the bicep, pushing on the eyes and face, I can take my other hand that was blocking that arm once he starts going, and I can also start hitting while I'm pushing him back. So just another example of stuff that we can do. So I can be here and start striking as I drive him back. All right, so we'll just have you guys do that one time each. So maybe you block on the bicep, but then you start striking with the other hand. All right, go back real quick, Jeff, lay back down. So remember, this hand will be pushing on the face, this hand will be hitting that was blocking. Thank you. Yeah, the one that was on the bicep. So push his face, then start hitting to the throat. There we go. Nice, much better. Good, and Jesse, lay down. Good, palm strikes, that works too. And good. All right, so very nice. So that's just another little alternative to it, a little tweak that you guys can do. Me personally, I prefer going to the bicep and blocking those punches that are striking, because the mentality of someone that's punching you, they're gonna still try to hit you even as you're reversing them. But don't get me wrong, there's always positives and negatives to everything, because if I do the other variation and I'm the one being the aggressor and striking to the throat, I can do a lot of damage from there, and I may get a faster reaction out of them as they're trying to drive backwards, which makes me pushing a lot easier to get up. So those are two little tweaks to it, alternatives to that technique. Now we're going to talk about weight forward. All right, so now we're going to be discussing what if their weight is forward and they're trying to control us. So from here, I'll borrow Jeff on this one. His weight is forward. He's more just controlling, trying to hold me down, pin me down. Maybe there's a buddy of him trying to hit me or something. All right, and I'm trying to block or something. So I need to get out of this. If I try to do force on force, Krav is all about going with the weight. So if I were trying to come here and push, it's just going to become who's stronger. So in this case, I could just push him up really easy, but I'm not going to do that. No, just kidding. All right. But from here, what I'm going to do, his weight's bearing forward. I actually want to shift my hips away. So I'm going to start to come onto my side here. And now he's still holding my head, but I have all of this that's not controlled. So basically from my neck down, I'm still mobile. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to be hopping over him and driving over his back, because his weight's already going that direction. So it's basically like pulling a chair away from your friend as they're trying to sit down. So I shift my hips first, and then I'm going to be driving and moving that direction. Okay. Then you got to be careful at this point, because you can, if they're holding on tight, you can add a lot of pressure to that shoulder. I like to go a little bit slower when I'm in training, or let my partner know about that. But you do got to be cautious. In a real life situation, who cares? Rip their shoulder up. But this is where we're most likely going to be ending up: striking, getting up, choosing which side I want to exit to, and then I'm gone. So one more time. So get it from another angle. I'll borrow Jesse on this one. So he's smashing me down. Okay, I want to load my hips. I want to get them ready. So I'm just going to kind of shift my hips, and I want my belly button facing him, and I'm turning a little bit. At this point, I'm going to be exploding off the ground, hopping over here. Okay, coming up and over. Ending up on top. Sometimes you may explode. I'll go a little bit quicker on this, so just watch your shoulder there. Okay, so when I shift, if I come up, I might end up on the other side, striking, and that's okay. But I'm going from one side and I'm throwing my whole body over him. So if you're bigger than them, sometimes you may be able to explode all the way. Sometimes you may end up just about right here, and your head still may be caught. Let me have your arm real quick. But I'm in this position now. At that point, I just start looking up to the ceiling, striking, getting up, and getting away. All right, so we'll have a look at it as they're going back and forth. You guys can start practicing at home. So he's going to shift his hips to the side. Then he's going to drive super hard, exploding over, coming over the top, striking, getting up, getting away. All right, so just being careful with the shoulder, that was good. You know, you do, like if that partner's holding on really tight, you can tweak their shoulder, so just be cautious of that as an attacker and when you're training, so. Nice hop over, very good. Anyway, let's come back to the center, please. Turning, good. Hopping over. Nice. Very good. Notice he's throwing his whole entire body over. That's what we want to do right there. Sometimes you end up on the other side. Sometimes you just end up taking their back. Sometimes you're just a quarter of the way. But instead of being flat on your back, you want to be on your side. Being flat on your back is a terrible spot to be, especially when someone's on top of you. All right, so time. So let's add just one more little detail that can help you guys out with this. Is from here, I'll borrow you, Jeff. We talked about not necessarily trying to muscle your way out, but I am gonna push first, okay? I'm gonna push just a little bit to make this easier on me because naturally he's gonna wanna fight that. Now, if I push, maybe I catch him with a good eye gouge and he backs up and his weight's now back. Weight back is the easier one to do, all right? Because here there's just a little bit more movements and you know, you're having to fight and your neck's caught. This one and reversing someone's super easy. But, so if I'm able to push and he does go back, just keep going with it. But majority of the time what somebody's gonna wanna do is start to muscle down and I'm just gonna release and do that thing that we talked about where I'm pulling the chair out. And I'm gonna do my technique. So I'll push a little bit and move and start to hop over. I'm just gonna be careful of his shoulder right now.
Thank you.
Yep. So just adding this right now. Push a little bit. Once he pushes back, I'm hopping over. Striking. Okay, and getting up from there. So here we go. Let's just do that a time or two. Very nice. Good, one more each, please. And last one. All right, and time. All right, very good. All right, so weight forward and weight back. They can be pretty tricky sometimes, especially if the people know what they're doing on the floor, have wrestling experience and being able to adjust and move and whatnot. And our next class, in our drill class of this, make sure you guys check that out. We're gonna show you guys some awesome concepts of this, have some great drills for you guys that make this actually a little bit easier. So a little Easter egg there for you, a little teaser. So make sure you guys check that one out if you wanna get better at this. But if you guys have any questions, comments, feel free to ask. Other than that, take care, be safe.